Morning, everyone. Um, Real quickly, just wanted to share some some things that I've been noticing about gardening and our walk with Christ. Been noticing a lot of similarities, some things that that just some things that really crossed my mind while setting all of this stuff up. So this is the latest the latest addition or latest change that I've made to the garden, and this was a pathway that I made. I actually made this last year, or I started it with just this row of stones here, and this year I kind of a few months ago or a month ago I decided to extend it. I guess because I know it has something to do with me looking up some design, some landscape designs for the front of our house, and that probably inspired me to do it. But I was able to get this, I was able to expand this. I finished this 2 weeks ago, and then I said I wanted to get rid of more. I wanted to get rid of more of the grass, this patch of grass right here, because I had some material sitting here for the front landscaping. I had it sitting here, and I noticed how some of it, because it sat for a few weeks, it messed up some of the grass, and I was saying it would be easy if I just got rid of this patch of grass right here, because it'll be easier for me when I cut the grass. So this is what it came out to be. Pretty much certain pathways. One path leads straight, and we got in another path, this row, you can either choose to go straight, or you could use this as an exit to go to this area. And of course, we have this path that takes you directly into the garden rows and even into the back behind the garage. But all of this was grass. Like all of it, really, when we moved here, all of it was grass. And slowly but surely, as I begin to get interested and more interested in gardening, that's when the grass began to disappear. And it reminded me lately, it's been reminding me a lot of how God, when he began creating in Genesis chapter 1, it says the earth was void. But as we read throughout chapter 1, we see how he defined borders. He made definition. He created the seas and the waters, the firmament, the sky, and he brought order to all of that which was out of order. And that's what a lot of what gardening is. You oftentimes have to bring order to what's out of order. Another thing, and that leads me to also talk about vision. Gardening, it has a lot to do with vision. When we have a vision of what we want, for example, if you want cucumbers, well, you already have that in your mind, so that's what you're envisioning. That's what you're going after. So that's the seed that you plant. A lot of times gardening, it works out good when you know clearly in your mind what you want. or when you can see clearly in your mind what you want. You might not know, all of the steps, all of the intricate steps before you start, but you at least have a general idea of what you're going for, and as you're going, as you start, you can adjust. And it's a lot like walking with Christ. It's a lot like walking with God, because he'll tell us to do stuff and we don't know all of the steps, we don't know everything that it involves, and but once we get started with it, everything that's supposed to happen, it happens, and it takes shape, it takes place. So even with planting seeds, Christ was referred to way back in Genesis chapter 3 as the one who would bruise the serpent's heel. The serpent's heel as the seed. And we plant, in gardening, when growing produce, we plant seeds. We plant seeds, and we expect the seed to someday to bear fruit. And in our walk with Christ, we can't bear fruit without Christ. That's why he said in John chapter 15, he talked about the importance, Christ talked about the importance of abiding in him so that we can bear fruit. So I just felt the need to get that out. We can't really, I've been noticing it's hard to garden without thinking about Christ and God and how he relates to it, because when it started, in the beginning, Adam and Eve, they were in the garden. When Jesus was about to get crucified, before he did, he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. And after he rose from the grave, he presented himself as a gardener. And of course, he used many other different parables and examples. But that's just interesting. So I hope you, this wasn't, not to go too deep into anything, but I hope somebody can take from this what they can, and to, be encouraged to continue to walk with Christ. I hope somebody's been blessed by this. Y'all have a good day. Peace.